Hello, BAME Farm fans. It's May 15th, middle of May, and what do we see? Our most used, probably 3 pieces of equipment. We've got 3 colors, two remaining brands. We're out green shopping. We have been out of silage for the cows since April 20th, roughly. Yeah, the silage didn't last as long as we'd hoped this year, because we had a little problem. It's called rain. And you wonder, how does rain affect the silage? Well, we were fighting the moisture in the fall, and typically after we chop, we'll wait, 10 days a week. The silo will settle. We'll put a few more loads in. But in the meantime, for a week or two after we fill, at least a week or two, we will feed fresh corn silage to the cows right out of the field. We didn't get to do that because it rained and rained and then rained some more. And then what did it do? It rained and filled the puddles up even higher. And if you can tell, the tires are a little muddy. This is the 3rd day without rain, and we're nowhere near close to being dry. There's puddles, mud, everything everywhere wet. Now the good news is we have our lovely cover crop. No, we did not waste money buying seed. Some people would call it weeds. Either way, whatever's growing out here, I know what it is. It's called rough stalk bluegrass. We'll pick a couple bits off. It's a lot of stem. There is a little bit of leaf, but it's mostly stem. And seed heads. What's the seed mean? Well, typically there's some protein in the seed. Doesn't mean there's big or lots of protein, but it's plant fiber. Cattle will eat it, and with enough protein in the grain we feed them, they will digest it. In fact, there have been university studies where they fed wheat straw to sheep with a urea solution on it. The rumen bacteria just need the nitrogen. However, that is usually done with older animals with a more developed rumen. So the bluegrass is reaching about peak maturity. This would be a good time for hay. I've made this stuff for hay in the past. It makes very nice soft hay, even though it is quite a bit of stem. What makes it soft is let's say the seed head branches out in a nice panicle formation. With the wet ground, I don't know if I'm worried about making hay. I wish there was a way, which we have that green direct cut head for the big chopper, the 1890 New Holland. Just can we get enough dry days and enough volume to make it worthwhile to try filling the silo. They're reaching peak maturity. By Memorial Day, by the end of May, this stuff will be all dead and brown and over with. It's a very early season grass, and it won't regrow until November. You'll start to see some green across the field. So it is almost the perfect perennial cover crop, because you can till it and spray all summer, and it'll be dormant, so you won't kill it, and it comes back. It might not get 4 foot tall like ryegrass, and I'm sure there's not extensive university studies. However, for the freeness of the cover crop, it's fantastic. It's keeping the cattle fed. It leaves a nice green mat, almost sod-like. I mean, that could be difficult to plant or till up. I mean, not everything's perfect. So with the rain, the only good thing about the rain, even though we're delayed, we're still getting use by chopping off this greenery for the cattle. And as much as I'm disliking the cattle, because we have to do this right now, it kills a little bit of time every few days to go out and fill a wagon. Now that the grass has grown and thickened up, it does make it a lot faster, but early on in April, it was a real struggle to get a wagon full. Now it's not so bad. Now this area has already been chopped once. You can kind of tell because the grass is a bit thinner. And if we step over into this strip, this did not get chopped before. So we're picking out the thick spots that we didn't get in the first place. Driving over a few ruts we might have left from picking sweet corn. We had sweet corn in this area. In fact, you saw us double hook and get stuck with this tractor last summer. I mean, look at this. There's puddles that can't even dry out. We're gonna, should grow rice. Now, what's making this possible, chopping, even though I've had so much rain, we've been averaging, I don't know, 2 to 3 inches a week. I mean, a wet year would be 1 inch a week for the whole year on average. Oh boy, he picked up the pace. Okay, let's see how fast we can walk. That's a little muddy right there. Yep. This might have been one of the places we got stuck while chopping the sweet corn. Yeehaw. Woo! Compaction. That's, well, between compaction and the root and sod formation of this grass, that's what's holding us up. Oh. Isn't it a joy? Who wants rain? I'll give it to you. I don't know what this is. It makes a seed head like Timothy. A nice, we'll say, cattail hot dog formation. I usually see that in what I would consider wetter spots. We don't have much of this grass yet. It is in one of my rental fields. But yes, it's also an early spring, and it's done by the time we end up planting, you know, because by the time we end up planting, it has rained a whole bunch every spring. And it seems like this has gone on for multiple years. That'll shake the cobwebs out. Yep, we've been feeding Green Shop for 3 weeks now, and we'll be doing it until October. The good news is, I guess, with the cattle chopping silage, who cares if we don't get field corn planted until July 4th? You know, the cattle will need some chop for silage. I mean, I've seriously thought about rain out contingency plans, like, okay, the rain's got to stop sometime, right? So what's going to happen? Well, the silage corn can go in July 4th, and we'll be chopping it in November, assuming we don't get a frost. I guess I should try to keep up with this. I don't want to have to go to my rain out contingency plan for the sheer fact that it's just going to be wet. I want to hear from some old timers about, you know, wet years, how bad it's been. I mean, I remember some other wet years, but maybe never this bad. Of course, I will say my memory is limited about the last 5 years that I've been farming. Well, not to say on my own, but having my own ground to be in charge of, for which I have to pay more attention other than Dad says go out and drive the tractor, do some tillage, chop feed, whatever. This is going to come right at us. Woo! Making a turn. I just got a hay bath. Now we have used the Badger silage wagon. Woo! And that wagon is nice for when it's windy. Woo, it's a bumpy ride. And I'm getting all covered in grass. Yes, the Badger wagon is nice for when it's windy because the top blocks the wind. Which the wind blocking is good. Okay, let's get back up here. Having the wind blocked is fantastic. We've had some very windy days. Today is not one of them. Typically, it usually is very windy before it rains again. It has been, oh yeah, rice tire time. Ooh, come on, lift the chopper up. That's not good. Hold on. Oh, lovely. Well, that muddy spot just got in the way. I think we gotta dig some mud out of the blower. Yay. Time to pop it open. Yeah, we use the Badger wagon. The only problem is it doesn't have this, so it's hard to fill the wheelbarrows. Yeah. How fast have you been running? You have a screwdriver, pry bar, something? Get my fingers behind the latch. I need to pry on that before I smash a finger. It's the right side. Down low, there's the gap. Minerals. Well, it won't fly open on its own. Grass and minerals. Grazing cattle could lick the ground if they wanted to. I'm gonna try to spin it out. Don't try this at home. Bam! Don't get your fingers involved with that. Something tells me that mud might not come up to it. Oh, it'll fall off. Doesn't matter, the harder you fling the mud, it'll still fall off eventually. Everybody watch their fingers. It still looks like it's balanced from our fix last year. Still plugged? It's right up in the neck, maybe. Yeah, that's just mud packed in here. Okay, that's a lot of mud. We are all cleaned out, ready to spin it over, fill the wagon, hit the road. That way the Mimos have something to eat. Yum, yum, yum. Now someone's going to ask, why don't you turn the cattle out here? Well, it's kind of difficult. There's no fence. And I guess it hasn't been a high priority to put fencing out here. However, I will say, before my parents acquired the farm, the character who got foreclosed on before them tore out all the fence. There used to be perimeter fencing on the whole place. And he was so mad, probably, about being foreclosed on, he just went around trying to wreck crap. And I find just balls of fence in the tree lines, which is really annoying while clearing trees. So there was perimeter fence, and unfortunately, I guess we just haven't done that. So for the cost of fencing, we have these things, which it'll be pretty hard just to turn the cattle out in the sweet corn. I think they might trample more than they would eat. So this forces feed efficiency on the animals. We chop everything off, they have to eat it all. I mean, they'll eat curly dock, they'll eat the grass. It's like, I want to say one of my favorite farming neighbors says, it's better than snowballs, and they'll eat it when there's nothing else to eat. I mean, some of it's hip height, some of it's not as tall. I'd give it a solid 2 feet. So let's say this stuff is a fighter, which is good. It can take care of itself. I don't have to do anything to it. That's the most annoying thing, is when, say, a crop, a grain, whatever, needs a whole lot of maintenance. Granted, nobody values this, but the cows value it, because it feeds them. Well, I'm probably going to make another pass or two, and we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. We'll catch you guys later. Eventually, we will show off the feeding portion of this. Eventually, but let's not make the videos too long. We got to keep it coming back for more action, so we'll have a separate feeding video. So until next time, happy farming, and stay dry. Unless you need rain, then you can have it. Well, as a demonstration of how wet it is and how long the puddle's been here, hopefully you can see all the tadpoles. We're helping the frog population with all the rain. Watch out, cricket. One day these tadpoles are going to turn into frogs and eat you. Whew. This is where we ate the mud last go round. So we kind of quick stop. And we're not going to get stuck, but so we don't eat any more mud. Woo! That's fun. Keep going. That's always fun, getting squirted by mud. I mean, unfortunately, these ruts have been here since last year. If we hadn't have made ruts last year, this wouldn't be a problem right now. Well, that's lovely. Yeehaw, rice tires. Okay, well, we'll see ya.